So welcome to the video on laser embroidery decoration, and in this video I want to show you how you can use the laser and combine with embroidery to do corporate work, because most people associate it with resort wear, casual wear, and retail work. So follow me through here. Top left, I've got a logo that has fleece, polar fleece, and tackle twill put together, and it's three-dimensional because I've got a double layer of fleece underneath there, and the embroidery stitches pull down, and I've got that third dimension, or that feeling to it. This is all very soft and gentle, and then the edges of the tackle twill are buried within the fleece. So I move over, I've got 100% tackle twill here, and I've got three layers. So I've got black on, with gold on top, and then white in the middle of that. The complexity of the design will change the price, of course. Here I've got felt, and if you're zooming in and you've looked at it and it's rather worn, it's because it's at trade shows and it's very, it's touched so often, so that's why there's a fuzz on it. And look at the size of the letters. Those are individual letters. That's something you normally traditionally can't do, but that your decorator can do if they want to. Here you've got 100% tackle twill. These are approximately 250 millimeters, so they're 10 inches, but they're giant. You don't want to go too much bigger on a garment because it's not required at all. Over here, I've got the old version of the Starbucks logo, and I've got green with white on top, and the black is the layer underneath. So right now that logo is all green, so it's even more simple to make. The Breitling is 100% felt, and a lot of detail in there, very challenging or impossible to make with a human hand, so the laser embroidery is critical. The Bugatti here is the only design with a huge stitch count because the shadow is stitches and the satin stitch inlines, and the Bugatti logo is 100% embroidery. The rest is felt, and underneath is a tackle twill in the white. This is etching. You've seen that before, so I've got the details, the Michelin Man, a bank. Look at the, right up here very close, the spined letters. Move right down, and I've got a lot of detail that would be almost impossible, so I can do that as crests. These can also be turned into patches. If you move over here, I've got three layers of t-shirt on top of another t-shirt, so when this would get washed it would flower up. When I move over to the famous Kentucky Fried Chicken, this is only two pieces of felt. It's one piece of red and one piece of blue. With traditional embroidery, this is typically not affordable, but here I've got a full front corporate decoration I can do on a sweatshirt. Move down, and here I've got tackle twill. I've got three colors, but remember that this can be substituted with felt. It can be t-shirts. You can make it casual. You can make it very clean looking. The Pepsi-Cola here is two pieces of tackle twill, and again, this is a relatively simple decoration when you look at it, but it's impossible to do this in traditional hand laying on of the pieces. The BMW is three layers of felt. CBC is one layer of felt. The shell here is felt on top of tackle twill, and it gives you a third dimension because it starts to raise it up. Remember that you can substitute. So if I wanted to be casual, when I go down to the Pizza Hut, for example, I could have used t-shirt. I could have used felt. In this case, I used tackle twill. They're all able to be substituted, so you got to speak to your decorator about that. Here I've used a material to replicate this metallic of the original logo, and then I use the felt to give a three-dimensional look to the official part of the letters. I can get very small, narrow logos here. So there's a bit of embroidery, but there's two layers of felt. And then this is kind of cool because the Michelin Man has that puffiness to it, but it's actually one piece of felt, and you have the running stitch. So again, very corporate, very large, is doable once again. It wasn't for a very long time. And then here you can get a lot of detail in a font, and it's based upon the complexity. So the bottom line is, speak with your decorator, get them the logo, and find out what the best option is for you. You don't want to create something that's overly complex and expensive, because there's so many options to do things unique. Sometimes when letters would be very small, maybe it would be good to make a patch with a washable suede. You'll see that upstairs in the next part of the video. Or you can just do an etching, a patch, and sew that on, and you've reduced stitch count. So your decorator is pretty much an expert with their laser embroidery equipment. Contact them. So the technique with applique and embroidery is unique because you can get almost everything as a full front decoration, and you can use textiles.
Introduction is downstairs. Right now.
I'm doing the introduction for this part. I know what I'm doing.
Okay. So no, but it's applique. So we will explain the procedure downstairs, and then just go on with this part. Okay.
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 So what we have here are more resort, more casual wear clothing, but they're all applique as well. This is t-shirt on top of a sweatshirt, and this area is the only area with the traditional embroidery. When you wash this, it's going to get flowery, or not puckered, but the loose ends will come up, so it's a distressed technique. If I move over here, I've got felt, and now I've got a three-dimensional effect. I've got a small amount of embroidery, but I've got a large chunk of felt, and the laser has cut inside and outside, so it's very hard to do by hand, and that's what makes it unique. You want to do things that are different. This is a distressed look traditional, so you'll see this in all the retail stores, and I've got a ripping or tearing effect. I got multi-layer, and I've got a bit of heat transfer screen print as well built into that. Here I can go a little bit more corporate, left chest logo, tiny little bit of embroidery, and then I've got a two-color applique. This is felt, and it has t-shirt over top of it, and it's cut out. This is not a mistake. This is actually by design to make something look old, because people will pay more for something that looks old and distressed and antiqued. And the laser has actually made these defects in, and it's been torn off, and once you wash it, it gets more characteristic to it. This is unique in the sense that you've got a reverse applique. So reverse applique means that underneath you've got the product that's been decorated, and then applique means that you're putting it over top. So I've got a screen printed reverse applique. The sweatshirt has literally a hole in it exposing that. I've got a very tiny amount of embroidery, and I've got an applique to go across the top of that. So again, something challenging or unique is the fact that you've got the inside of the letter cut out as well. Just get my string out of the way. So you've got both effects, but it's still a full front decoration, and it's a low stitch count relative speaking, but it is applique. So these become affordable, because if it would be all stitches, nobody would want to pay for it, and it wouldn't be what's in fashion. And here I've got an applique that has been etched. It's a washable suede, and I've got a felt outline, and again, traditional embroidery would be more costly than any of the applique techniques. These are two layers of felt. They're contrasting, and the stitch is contrasting as well, which makes it look more effective. A bit higher stitch count, but reverse applique, and the applique underneath is contrasting, and you're holding the whole thing together because you've got enough decorative stitches that's not going to fall apart. But again, on the inside, the advantage is that you've just got the inside applique, and you don't always have to have that embroidery backing, so it's actually a lot softer and a lot more flexible than, again, the traditional embroidery. So here we go. Here's screen printing, and over top of it we've got an applique two-layer. And this is an example of a very clean laser cut tackle twill that's heat pressed on. So there's many alternatives, and I encourage you to contact your decorator on the website here to get more information about what they can customize for you. Thank you.